name is Danny Jung and I'm proudly to be auctioneer this morning. Also assist you with your purchase marketing team if you've met throughout the campaign. Marc Lum, Ryan Zhu, and we also have Stephen Yeh and Elvis Huang here to help you with your competition. So if you have any questions regarding the property, the paperwork, or some technical advice with your bidding here today, they are here to help. Now, first I draw your attention to is the contract sale which has been made available to you prior to today's auction and on display for the last 30 minutes. Very straightforward auction contract. You find little difference compared to the others that we use in the state of Victoria for residential property auctions. Two parts of contract form the framework of your competition here today. The particular sale, together with both special and general conditions. Attached to that is the vendor statement, which is more commonly known as a Section 32 document that outlines all the relevant information you need to know in terms of becoming a new owner of this property right here. Now, the particular sale reason follow the marketing agent for owner here today is Rayway Real Estate, and the property we sell is commonly known to you and I, your neighbours, your postman, your Uber Eats delivery driver, simply as number 3 Opal Court here in Mulgrave. Inclusive in today's sale, all fixed coverings, light fittings, window finishings, everything that's in a permanent nature as expected will be inclusive in today's sale. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we sell under auction conditions today. So, at the conclusion of today's auction, if you are the successful purchaser, we'll need 2 things from you. One is your autograph on the dotted line in the contract sale, and then 10% deposit equivalent of the purchase price that you bid here today. We do accept a personal check or online transfer. We understand there's a transfer limit for most of our online transfer accounts. Then we need $20,000 to be transferred to our trust account upon signing the contract sale, and then the balance is to be paid next business day, which is Monday next week. Settlement is flexible, 90 to 120 days, of course, unless you made other arrangements with the marketing team before the commence of today's auction. In the state of Victoria, property you bought at public auctions, the contract will be unconditional. There is no cooling off period. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as your auctioneer, it's my duty and responsibility to ensure today's auction is conducted in accordance with the rules or any additional conditions that's made available for inspection prior to today's auction. The rules prohibits making a false bid, a bidder try to prevent others from bidding, or any major disruptions by bidders. There are fines for these conducts. Bidders will be indicated upon request by me as the auctioneer. The rules permit vendor bids and terms I will use. The indicator bidder I'm making on behalf of the vendor will be simply vendor bid. And by law, only I as the auctioneer here today can make a vendor bid. Now, buyers, or the future homeowner of this property right here, number 3 Opal Court. If you want to be the one assigning one of these in the next 15 to 20 minutes time, please pay particular attention to the next 2 rules because they are crucial for your success here today. 1, by law, as the auctioneer, I cannot accept any bids or offers that's made after I declare the property sold. So before I knock it down to the successful purchaser here today, I'll simply call it out 3 times, like so. First call, second call, third and final call. And once the property has been knocked down, I can't take any more bids. Plenty of Rayway staff on site, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure your bids are heard loud and clearly, accepted by me before I knock it down to your competitor. And lastly, the owner has a reserve price. In the event, if we fall short of that reserve, by law, only the last bidder will have that first opportunity to buy this property at our owner's reserve. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to number 3 Opal Court here in Mulgrave. What are we offering you here today, ladies and gentlemen? It's something we said, isn't a 90 to 120 day settlement too long for you to move in? This is the home you want to move in tomorrow, because it doesn't only offers you the space, the functionality, but also just look next door. That's your backyard. Never complain that your backyard is too small. The playground, the grass, that's pretty much right here adjacent to your property. The property itself, only 5 year young, should I say it. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2 of the bedrooms with en-suites, and 2 separate living areas. And we are getting into that warmer months. It will get to 30 degrees. That's the first time this year, ladies and gentlemen. That's the time for you to enjoy this home with all the amenities, all the features this property offers. But you know what? I won't touch on all these features because you know it already. This property has been on the market for the last 4 weeks of the campaign. You've been through on many occasions. You know it better than me, than Marc and Ryan, who has been trying to sell this property to you. But ladies and gentlemen, you are here because you know and you agree with what I have just said to you. I just want to touch on one thing before we start bidding. We are in December already. 3 weeks till Christmas. But you are here because you haven't bought the property you wanted to move in, you wanted to call home for the next many years to come. Not much time left for you in 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to enjoy this kind of weather. Stop house hunting. Go to the beach next Saturday. And who's going to do that? It's time to find out. Where do we see a fair, reasonable, even-handed start? Ladies and gentlemen, number 3 Opal cord in your hands now. At $1,280,000 across the road. Welcome to you, sir. The 128 is the bid. I'll take $20,000 right from this point. At 128 across the road, who's going to take me to 1.3? At $1,280,000, who's going to take me to 1.3 million, ladies and gentlemen? That's the lower end of the indicating selling range. At this level, there should be sea of hands. At 128 across the road, at $1,280,000. Searching for 20 in the rise. At 128 is the bid. At $1,280,000, that's 2 points. At 1.28. At $1,280,000, looking for 20. Where do we go? Call 1.3. At 1.28 now. Are we down? Certainly not at this level. At 1.28. At $1,280,000. Are we done? Finished? And started now. At $1,280,000. Calling first time. $1,280,000 with the open bidder. He's holding the key. He knows the value at 1.28. At $1,280,000. Second call. Are we done? $1,280,000. Take me to 1.3, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to sell, you are here to buy. In order to do that, we need your active participation. Where do we go, ladies and gentlemen? $1,280,000. Are we done? Third and final quarter, $1,280,000 at 1.28. At 1.3, welcome to you, sir, to 1.3. At 1.3, straight back on a 20 over 1.3, sir. At 1.32, can I call? At $1,300,000 to my left, your right. That's your competition. At $1,300,000 at 1.3, 20 on a knot, straight back, sir. Can I call a 40? At 3.2, at 1.32 now, with the opening bidder. At $1,320,000, another 20 will put you back to the driver's seat. What do you say, sir? 340. At 132 is the bid of $1,320,000 against you there. Call it 340 over 1. At 1.32, that's the bid. That's your competition. You need to go over that at 1.32. At $1,320,000. 40. Or anyone can jump in, and you should jump in at this level. At 132, are we done? First call. At $1,320,000 with the opening bidder. Second call at $1,320,000. All done. All finished. All silent now. At $1,320,000. Kids over there. What do you say, sir? I call it 1,340. At 132 is the current bid. All done, all finished, all silent. At $1,320,000 for the third and final call. At $1,320,000 with the opening bidder there. Need to know quickly. At 132, are we done? Finished. Silent. At 1,320. $1,320,000 looking for 20. Call it 340 anywhere. At 1,320 is the bid. At $1,320,000, are we done? $1,320. So if you're not sure, just bid. It's only money. At 132, at $1,320,000, call it 3 times only. Once, twice, 3 times at $1,320,000. All done, finished. Here's silent here at $1,320,000.
And if you take 133?
20. Can't take the 10.
134.
340, welcome back at 340. 340, sir, call it 360. Gotta be quick. At $1,340,000, that's your competition. At $1,340,000, still calling 20 in the right, the corner 360 over 1. At 1.34. At 3.4 over 1 now. What do you say? Bigger shays here. 1,340. Call it 360, sir. What do you say? 20 on top of 360. At 1.36, call it 3.8, sir. At $1,360,000 against you here, call it 3.8 over 1. What do you say? Where's the opening bid at $1,360,000? That's the winning bid at the moment. At 136. At $1,360,000 calling once here. Are we done? 136. Another 20 will put you back to the driver's seat at $1,360,000. Are we done? Second call. At 136. A lot of discussion going on there at $1,360,000. Tempt you in for another 20. Are we done? Third and final call at $1,300,000. 138. At 138. 1-4, sir. At 138. Your competition at $1,380,000. Call to 1-4, sir. We're going to get there eventually to 138. At $1,380,000, another 20 will put you back to the driver's seat, the box seat at $1,380,000. What do you say, sir? 20. 380 to call. I'll hold the 10 for now at $1,380,000. Still searching for 20. At 138 is the bid. At $1,380,000 now counting once. At 1.38. Twice now at $1,380,000. Are we done? I'll take the 10 because you asked nicely. At 1,390, same opportunity. Take me to 1-4, sir. At $1,390,000, we still bidding bidder. Getting there brick by brick at $1,390,000. 1-4. That's the number I'm searching. 10. 139 at $1,390,000 with the opening bidder. Against you now, sir. 1-4, can I say? At $1,390,000, first call. 1.39. Second call at $1,390,000, all done, all finished. 1.410, good bid at $1,410,000. Knockout bid, like the style at 141. At $1,410,000. See, sir, 10's not working. Should we call it 20 again? Call it 430. 141 at $1,410,000. What do you say? At $1,410,000 calling first call. At $1,410,000. second call at $1,410,000. All done. Are we finished? At 1,410. 4,2. 420. Still going tens. 1,42. Another 20 on top again. Call it 1,444. See if that works. At 1,420 is the opening bidder. Against you here, sir. At $1,420,000, how are we done? Looks like it's just between you two now to 142. At $1,420,000, 10 or better bids against you. What do you say, sir, to $1,420,000? Start counting now. Once, twice, 3 times at $1,420,000. What do you say?
Danny, we'll take 5,000.
10. Quarter 10. Flex your auction muscle. Quarter 10, 420 over 1 at 142. Quarter 4-3. I'll take 10.
4-3, Danny.
4-3 at 430 at 1.43. At $1,430,000. What do you say, sir? You shake your head the wrong way. This will get you a house. At $1,430,000 against your opening bidder. What do you say? I'll give you a moment to think about it. $1,430,000. That's your competition. They are holding the key now to 143. At $1,430,000, start counting once, twice, 3 times. At $1,430,000. I'll give you a moment to think about your next move, sir. Ma'am, I'll take the 143 offer to the owner. 6 some instructions won't take too long. Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting inches close to a sale here today at $1,430,000, sir. You're holding the winning bid at the moment, sir. You had about 4 minutes and 34 seconds to think about your next move. I'll take $5,000 if that helps at $1,430,000. Another five will put you into the competition, ladies and gentlemen, at 143 at $1,430,000. Another five. Let's get it moving at $1,430,000 at 1.43. Five, can I call? Looks like it's just between you two now at $1,430,000. Another five will put you back to the competition. At 143 is the bid. At $1,430,000. Start counting once now. At $1,430,000. Five. Welcome back, sir, to 1,435. Same opportunity, sir. Take me to 40. Same opportunity, quarter five at $1,435,000. That's only five over your last bid. We are getting there very, very closely at $1,435,000. Or knock it out, quarter 145 or even 1.5. You never know. What do you say, sir? To $1,435,000. Five or better bid at 1,435. At $1,435,000. Start counting once now at 1,435. Second call at $1,435,000. Hold down, finish and silent.
Danny, 1445.
445. There we go. That's 10,000 on top of your bid, sir. See, that's how you bid at auction. $1,445,000 against you here. Quarter 450. You said no 10 minutes ago. That's not very convincing, sir. At $1,445,000. They are holding a winning bid of 1,445 at $1,445,000. Are we all done? First call at $1,445,000. Second call at $1,445,000. 450. You're going to see me next week, sir. Instead of going to the beach. You sure you want to do that? At $1,445,000 for the third and final opportunity at $1,445,000. Definitely up. Thank you for bidding, sir. But if I were you, I'll take another 3.5 minutes to think about it. I'll take the offer to the owner. It won't take too long. Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. As you understand, it's a very important decision for the owner to make. And just to confirm, sir, you're willing to increase your offer to $1,450,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been to my auctions before, you know what this means, which means we're out on the market selling. If being holding back is the time to show your interest. Otherwise, sir, congratulations, we'll sell the property to you at $1,450,000. We're out on the market. Sir, that's double the time I gave you last time. What do you say? And $1,450,000, definitely out. Once the gavel hits the contract, I can't take any more bids. At $1,450,000, I'll start counting 3 times and 3 times only. First call at $1,450,000. 1, even 1. To keep you in the game at a $1,450,000. Thank you for bidding at 1.45. Second call at $1,450,000. All done, all finished, all silent here at $1,450,000 for the third and final call at $1,450,000. We are selling! And ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the new owner. It is sold! Congratulations, well bought. Commiserations to the owner bidder. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for attending another successful Marc Lum Waverley auction. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.